My business partner tried to steal our biggest client on a Friday afternoon. She copied me in by accident. It was 8 p.m. on a Sunday when I found it. I was clearing my inbox with a glass of wine, and I almost scrolled straight past it, because the subject line was a client's name I wasn't expecting on a weekend. Then I opened it. It was from Claire, my partner of 4 years, the woman whose kids I'd babysat, whose wedding I'd been at. It was addressed to Martin, our biggest client, 40% of everything we made. "Hi Martin," it began. "I wanted to introduce you to my new company." I put the glass down. A rate card, a website link, a warm little line at the end. "I'd love to keep working with you in this exciting new chapter." And there at the bottom, in the CC field, sitting quietly, my email address. My name is right next to Martin's in her contacts. She typed the first letter and clicked the wrong one. She had just sent me the evidence of her own betrayal, and she didn't even know it. I sat at my kitchen table, and everything from the last 6 months rearranged itself. The late nights she said were client work. The new laptop that was personal. The 2 trips to London she went vague about when I asked. The conversation in March where she said she felt boxed in by the partnership, and I said, "Let's talk about it in the summer." She didn't want to talk. She wanted to leave. And she'd spent months quietly building somewhere to land. And she was taking our best client with her before she'd even handed in her notice. I didn't call her, I didn't email Martin. I finished my wine and I went to bed. Monday morning, she walked into the office and resigned. Calm, professional, a little sad even. "I've decided to pursue something new," she said. "I hope we can keep this amicable." She did not mention the email, and neither did I. I smiled. I told her I understood. I told her I was sad, but I wished her nothing but the best, and inside I was already 3 moves ahead of her. Here's what Claire forgot. She was still my business partner. Her resignation meant a 1-month notice period. For 1 more month, she was legally bound by every single word of the partnership agreement we had both signed 4 years ago, including the part that said neither of us could poach a client for our own competing business. She'd broken that contract on Friday, and I had it in writing. I called our solicitor on Monday afternoon, while Claire was still taping up a box in the corner of the office. "Tell me exactly what she did," Priya said. I told her the email, the date, the new company, the rate card, the fact that Claire was still a partner when she sent it. There was a pause on the line. "She solicited your biggest client," Priya said slowly, "for a competing business, while still bound by the agreement. And you have the email." "I have the email. Forward it to me. Don't do anything else. Don't warn her. Don't warn him." So I didn't. I walked back out to the office. Claire was writing a handover note. "Anything I can do to make this easier?" I asked her. "You're being really lovely about this," she said. I was worried it'd be awkward. "Not at all," I said. "Confirm your last day for me." "End of the month." Perfect. End of the month. 4 more weeks where she was still legally my partner. 4 more weeks where everything she'd done was a breach she was fully liable for. I went home that night and I slept better than I had in a fortnight. The next morning, Priya called me back. "We've got everything we need," she said. "Now, see, do you want to just warn him off quietly, or do you want to do this properly?" I thought about the wedding, the babysitting, the word amicable. "Properly," I said. On Thursday, a letter arrived at Martin's office. It came from Priya's firm. It was calm, professional, and absolutely devastating. It laid out exactly what Claire had done, approached him for a competing company while still a partner in ours, in direct breach of a signed agreement. And it made clear, without threatening him, that he'd want the full picture before he made any decisions. Martin called me an hour later. "I had no idea she wasn't allowed to do that," he said. "She made it sound like you two had agreed to split." "We hadn't," I said. "But I didn't want you caught in the middle. That's why I sent it." He stayed. He's still my client 3 years later. He's introduced me to 2 more since. We have lunch twice a year, and he still calls Claire that whole business like it's a weather event. Claire's new company launched with no anchor client. I heard about 18 months later that it had quietly folded. She found out I'd seen the email when Priya's letter referenced it directly. I would have loved to see her face in that moment. The second she realised the CC field had been sitting there the whole time, that I'd known before she even resigned, that every amicable conversation had been me watching her walk into a wall she couldn't see. We dissolved the partnership by the book. I bought her share at a price that reflected the damage she'd done. It was not generous. It didn't need to be. I run the company alone now. It's smaller. It's also entirely mine, and every client in it chose to be here. The last time I saw Claire was across a car park at a conference. She looked at me. I raised a hand. She got in her car. Some people build their exit on your trust. Just make sure you read your contract before they do. Have you ever had someone show their hand without realising you were watching? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more complete stories with no part 2s that never come, follow the page. New story every day.